Hey guys, it is Christian here, and today I'm going to be doing a video or stream talking about the AFI Top 10 and the Critics' Choice nominations. But before we get into this, please like, subscribe, and tell me what you think of this video. So yeah, the AFI Top 10 released on Thursday, and the Critics' Choice nominations released yesterday. I was at a wedding, so I wasn't able to comment on it right away, but today I'm able to do it, so that's what we're gonna do. We're going to start with AFI because that happened first, and also Critics' Choice is going to take up most of the video. So let's say we get right into it. So the AFI Top 10, they mainly go with American movies. They don't go with, so we wouldn't have seen any of the Neon movies here or anything. But yeah, the top 10 that they picked was Avatar: Fire and Ash, Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, J. Kelly, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, Train Dreams, and Wicked for Good. And then the special award went to It Was Just an Accident. Most of the award shows have like a lot of the early shows have been giving Panay a lot of awards, so it makes me think that It Was Just an Accident is going to win International Feature at the Oscars. Although we'll see if it wins anywhere else. We'll see. But yeah, this top 10 I think was pretty easy to call. I said Wicked would miss for Weapon. No, for F1. But that didn't happen. Wicked still made it. And I think at the time it was fair to assume that Critics' Choice would be 9 of these 10 plus minus, but they would also do sentimental value. So yeah, you're gonna see what the 10 I ended up predicting was, but yeah. I don't really have much to say. Like, this is a pretty straightforward 10. Like, most of the movies that at the time needed to get this got in. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for AFI. Like, very quick. So now we're gonna do Critics' Choice, because Critics' Choice is gonna take up the bulk of the video. So I would say Critics' Choice is usually the most predictable of the main precursors, mainly because they like to go with what people think is gonna get nominated at the Oscars. They're notorious for not really going for international movies unless they're super widely predicted to be nominated, like a Parasite or a Roma or Amelia Perez. They did with that one year they did embrace RRR, but yeah. And you're gonna see they embraced sentimental value because that's widely predicted to be nominated. But we'll see how they treated the other international movies. But yeah, they actually did throw a few curveballs. So yeah, I think with all that said, we should just get right into it. Sinners led the nominations with 17. Hold on. Yeah, so Sinners led the nominations with 17. And we're going to see what those 17 were. They pretty much nominated it everywhere. Spoiler alert. Except supporting actor. Best Picture. Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, J. Kelly, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, Sinners, Train Dreams, and Wicked for Good. So yeah, that was actually the 10 I predicted going in. That was the 10 I had in. They didn't nominate Avatar: Fire and Ash, so that was the swap for sentimental value from AFI. This was 9 out of 10 with AFI, except sentimental value made it in over Avatar. Avatar: Fire and Ash hasn't come out yet, so we'll see if that can come back or not. But I feel weirdly comfortable leaving it out of my picture 10 at the Oscars right now. We'll see how it does at the Golden Globes on Monday. If it gets drama picture there, I'll probably put it back in, but if it doesn't, I'll leave it out. Wicked for Good. Wicked for Good got into all the categories that I have it in for right now at the Oscars, minus picture and casting, and then missed everything that I have it out for. But we're gonna get into that because it's interesting. Train Dreams has been performing well at these early shows. We'll see if it gets Golden Globe. If it does, I may put it in. J. Kelly, we'll see if that gets Golden Globe. Begonia. I think Begonia is gonna get Golden Globe, but whether or not these other movies perform well will determine if I leave that in or not. because obviously it was just an accident and No Other Choice missed. I didn't really expect those. I mean, I guess they could have done No Other Choice. That got like a couple of mentions on the Critics' Choice shortlist that they had this year. But yeah, didn't get in. So yeah, I don't have much else to say about Best Picture. I mean, yeah, I think One Battle After Another is obviously winning. If it wasn't here, though, Sinners would be winning. So yeah, now let's move on to Best Actor. The nominees are Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio for One Battle After Another, Joel Edgerton for Train Dreams, Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, and Wagner Moore for The Secret Agent. So I got 5 of these. The one I predicted that George Clooney would get in over Ethan Hawke, but that didn't happen. So Ethan Hawke, I think, is just happening. He's gonna get Golden Globe. He might get SAG too. He's in. He's getting in. The Astra snub didn't matter. I was wondering, like, because Astra, I think, Astra and Critics' Choice have some overlap. So I was wondering if that was gonna have some impact, but it doesn't. It doesn't. He still made it in. George Clooney might be weak then if he can't make it in here. We'll see if he gets SAG or not. He'll get Golden Globe. Hello. Yeah, Clooney must be weak to not get in here. And then Wagner Moore is strong. He's locked. I knew he would get in because they nominated Sandra Hüller for Anatomy of a Fall. So I was like, and most people seem to be thinking that he's stronger than that. So it made sense for him to get in, and he did. Michael B. Jordan, I still don't think is 100% locked, but maybe I'd have him in for now. Timothée Chalamet is probably going to win. Leo's getting in. He's not missing because he missed for Killers of the Flower Moon and Django Unchained. He's going to get nominated this time. So yeah, that's pretty much all I'd say about Best Actor. Now we get to Best Actress. There's a huge snub here. Yeah, huge snub. Nominees are Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, Chase Infinity for One Battle After Another, great pick, Renata Reinsva for Sentimental Value, Amanda Seyfried for The Testament of Van Lee, and Emma Stone for Begonia. Where is Cynthia Erivo for Wicked for Good? She's gone. She's not getting nominated for the Oscar. It's gonna be between these 6. That's gonna be the one. That's gonna be the top 5. Right now, I have Infinity missing out of these. But if she got like a SAG nomination, she'd be I think she'd be in. Rose Byrne, I think she could miss, but I think the other 4 are strong. I think Jessie Buckley's winning. Renata Reinsva, Amanda Seyfried, and Emma Stone, I think, are all strong. Seyfried may miss like SAG or something, but I'm not sure if that's gonna matter because she's gonna get Golden Globe and I think she's gonna get BAFTA too. So yeah, Erivo missed. She's not getting the Oscar nomination. Wicked in general just underperformed here compared to the first one. The first one got 11 nominations. This one got 7. I think the nomination limit if the movie still gets Best Picture, which I don't think it's going to right now. But if we forget it still gets Best Picture, I don't think it gets more than 7 nominations. I think it gets the 5 I have it in right now. And then I think Picture and then Sound probably because musicals always get Sound. But aside from that, I don't think it would get anything else. But yeah, anyway, I digress. Now we move on to Supporting Actor. This was the easiest of the acting categories, by far. The nominees are Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another, Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein, Paul Mescal for Hamnet, Sean Penn for One Battle After Another, Adam Sandler for Jake Kelly, and Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. That was the easy 6. They didn't nominate Delroy Lindo or Miles Caton. Unfortunately, not Miles Caton because he would have been a great nominee. I mean, he did get nominated elsewhere, but he didn't get nominated in here. And I don't think any of them are getting the Oscar nomination. And the Oscar lineup is going to be between these 6, and it just depends on whether or not Jay Kelly gets Best Picture. If it does get Best Picture, I think they nominate Sandler. If they don't nominate it for Best Picture, I think Elordi gets it. It was fun. I liked it. You know, it was a fun wedding. It was my cousin's wedding. But I digress. So yeah, Supporting Actor. I don't know who's gonna win. I think Sean Penn for now, but Benicio del Toro has actually been winning a few Critics Awards, and obviously Stellan Skarsgård could win maybe. But for now, I just say Sean Penn. I mean, he does enough to win, so I think he's gonna win. Yeah, this was the easiest six. This is my spoiler. This is the six I have predicted for the Golden Globes. So yeah, and the best supporting actress. The nominees are Elle Fanning for Sentimental Value, Ariana Grande for Wicked for Good, Inga, its daughter Lilias for Sentimental Value, Amy Madigan for Weapons, Wunmi Masaku for Sinners, and Tiana Taylor for One Bell After Another. I actually predicted all of those six as well. They didn't nominate anyone for Marty Supreme, no Odessa Zion, no Gwyneth Paltrow, none of them. I actually have no clue who's winning. I have Tiana Taylor for now, but I mean, it could be anyone. Ariana Grande, I actually am not 100% sure if she's getting the Oscar nomination. I think she will for now because she hasn't shown many signs of weakness yet, but the movie's showing signs of weakness. And if your movie is not strong, you're not always 100% guaranteed for a nomination. But I think she's going to be in for now. Same with the song. Like, I think song is not 100% impossible for us now, but it could. But I think Girl in the Bubble just hasn't shown enough signs for weakness yet. But we'll get to that when we get to song. So yeah, I think Tiana Taylor is going to win for now. It could be Amy Madigan or Ingud's daughter Lilias or Ariana Grande. But for now, I just say Tiana Taylor because she's a part of the Best Picture winner. Next is director. I know, Best Young Actor or Actress. The nominees are Everett Blunk for The Plague, Miles Caton for Sinners, Carrie Christopher for Weapons, Shannon Mahina Gorman for Rental Family, Jacoby Jupe for Hamnet, and Nina Yi for Left-Handed Girl. So I didn't do too great in this category. I predicted 3 of these. They didn't nominate Alfie Williams from 28 Years Later. They didn't nominate Aiden Delbus from Begonia. And they didn't nominate the actress from Lilo and Stitch. I predicted her, Maya Keola, I think. They didn't nominate her. They didn't nominate Mason Thames for anything he was in. Who's going to win? I think it's between Miles Caton and Jacoby Jupe. If they want to go with the main performance, they'll give it to Caton. If they want to give it to the younger performance, they'll give it to Jupe. So yeah, now we have Best Director. This one I think was another easy one to call. The nominees are Paul Thomas Anderson for One Bell After Another, Ryan Coogler for Sinners, Guillermo del Toro for Frankenstein, Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value, and Chloe Zhao for Hamnet. I predicted all of those 6. They nominate John Chu. John Chu's gone. I mean, he was never going to get nominated, but he literally won for the last one, and he's not even nominated for this one. They didn't nominate James Cameron, or they didn't nominate Park Chan-wook or Jafar Panahi. The 6 made sense for them. I think this was a pretty obvious 6. I think the DGA 5 is going to consist of 5 of these 6, and I think it's going to be either Trier or Del Toro who misses there. For now, I think it's going to be Trier who misses, but I think he'll still get the Oscar nomination anyway. Paul Thomas Anderson's winning. And weirdly, I think no one else besides him is 100% locked. I mean, I think everyone else can miss. I think Chloe Zhao can miss. She's probably going to get everything, so I wouldn't predict it, but I think it's not impossible. I think Ryan Coogler, they might snub. Josh Safdie, I also have him getting everything, so I feel like he'll be nominated. The movie's also very acclaimed, very director heavy. I think he'll be nominated. I hope Ryan Coogler gets the Oscar nomination, but I don't know if he's going to. But yeah, this was an obvious 6. I hope they don't snub Coogler at like the Globes. I've already accepted he's probably not going to get BAFTA, but hopefully the Globes don't do it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about director. Now let's move on to original screenplay. So yeah, the nominees are Jake Kelly, Marty Supreme, Sinners, Weapons, Sorry Baby, and Sentimental Value. They didn't nominate It Was Just an Accident. That's probably the biggest snub. The thing is, it's not that huge of a surprise because they don't love to nominate unless like you're solidly in the conversation. They usually just ignore international feature films. So It Was Just an Accident missing is not really that much of a surprise. But it probably sucks. But it was for Sorry Baby, and that's probably not that bad of a pick. That one's great. So yeah, what's gonna win? I think Sinners is gonna win. It could be Cinema Value maybe, but I think it's gonna be Sinners. That's like one of the most original movies of the entire year. So yeah, best adapted screenplay. The nominees are One Battle After Another, Train Dreams, No Other Choice, Frankenstein, Begonia, and Hamnet. I think I had that 6, but I took out No Other Choice for Wake Up Dead Man. But they nominated No Other Choice, and that's probably going to be nominated at the Oscars. And that would probably look good for a Best Picture nomination. Wake Up Dead Man. Wake Up Dead Man actually got nothing. That got no nominations. That's long gone for Best Picture, and I don't think it's gonna get Best Screenplay. I think it's just showing signs that it's gonna be way weaker than the other two were, and I think it's gonna miss Best Picture. It's not getting Golden. I don't think it's gonna get Golden Globe. Like the last one did, like last two did. But yeah, One Battle After Another is gonna win. That's pretty much all I have to say there. Wake Up Dead Man's looking pretty weak. I wonder if like it's just because it didn't hit Netflix yet, but it's been seen. Like it was at TIFF. It won. It was like the second runner-up for the People's Choice Award. But yeah, I think the fact that that's just got no nominations means it's weak. Like it's not gonna get Best Picture. I mean, it was never going to, but I don't even think it's gonna get Screenplay this time. These picks make sense though. They do. Best casting and ensemble. Kind of weird that this is one category, because like casting and ensemble are just super different. Like ensembles like the performances, casting is like the casting of the performances. But hey, I predicted all these 6. So yeah. All that said, the nominees are Hamnet, Jake Kelly, Marty Scream, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Wicked for Good. I predicted all those 6. Not really many snubs here. So yeah. Best cinematography. The nominees are F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Train Dreams. They didn't nominate Marty Supreme. Interesting. That might still get the Oscar nomination, but we'll see. Train Dreams could also get in, maybe. Sinners and One Battle and Hamnet and Frankenstein are all locks, I think. But yeah, Marty Supreme missed. Interesting. Production design. The Fantastic Four First Steps. That's a base pick, actually. I like that pick. Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, Sinners, Wicked for Good. Avatar missed. That's probably not getting production design at the Oscars, especially if it's not getting Best Picture. I don't think they need to nominate it. So yeah, Frankenstein's winning. As soon as I saw the movie, I knew it was just gonna win. But yeah, Fantastic Four is a good pick. I like Fantastic Four being there. This is my Oscar 5 plus Fantastic Four. That's not getting an Oscar nomination, but that's a cool pick. Editing. This category is insane. A House of Dynamite, F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Perfect Neighbor, and Sinners. A House of Dynamite. I just thought that movie was long dead, but I guess not. Well, no, it still is. It just got in here. They snubbed a few things though. Hamnet wasn't nominated. No Other Choice wasn't nominated. Frankenstein wasn't nominated. Cinema Value, I don't even think made the short list. And interestingly, this is the only precursor we have for editing, because I think ACE and I know BAFTA is after Oscars, but ACE I think is also after the Oscars. So this is the only thing we really have besides the BAFTA long list, I guess. One Battle After Another is going to win. The Perfect Neighbor, that's a documentary getting in for editing. I mean, that's probably not undeserved. House of Dynamite, though, was kind of a joke pick. F1, I think that could get ACE and BAFTA because it's a car movie, but it's not a Best Picture, so I don't think it's going to get the Oscar nomination. Sinners, I just don't really have a good enough reason to doubt. I don't think it's impossible that misses, but I just don't have a good enough reason to doubt it. Marty Supreme is going to be in. One Battle is winning. I'm going to say Hamlet still gets in, and the fifth slot is either going to be Cinema Value or No Other Choice. I know the choice that could be like a pick. I could see the Oscars doing that one, so I'm gonna leave that in, even though it's a little bit of a risk. So yeah. Next we have costumes. The nominees are Frankenstein, Hamnet, Hedda, Kiss of the Spider Woman, Sinners, and Wicked for Good. They didn't nominate Anne Lee or Marty Supreme. I feel like Marty Supreme is stronger in production design and not costumes, but Anne Lee missing. That's probably gonna get the BAFTA though, and then that probably still get the Oscar nomination. I think Frankenstein's probably gonna win. I think Wicked for Good should win. Like I give that costumes, and then I give Frankenstein production design. But I think Frankenstein's just gonna win both. Kiss of the Spider Woman. I thought that was dead, but I mean, you look at the costume designer, Colleen Atwood. She's very like well respected. Hedda's not that surprising. I could have seen that coming, but I didn't predict it. Next is makeup and hair. 28 years later, Frankenstein, Sinners, Smashing Machine, Weapons, and Wicked for Good. That was the 6 I predicted. Not really many surprises there. That's pretty much all I have to say. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Best visual effects, the nominees are Avatar: Fire and Ash, the only nomination for that. F1, Frankenstein, which I knew it was getting in. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, Sinners, which I should have called was going to get in, but it didn't. But I didn't say it. And then Superman. They didn't nominate Wicked for Good or Fantastic Four. Despite Fantastic Four being nominated for production design, it couldn't get visual effects. And then Wicked for Good couldn't get visual effects either. This is one of the techs it missed. And I think it's probably going to miss visual effects at the Oscars. Like, I think that's going to be one of the categories they snub it in. I think Wicked for Good, as a movie that's not Best Picture, it's getting 5 or less nominations. I don't really see it getting any more than that. Fantastic Four, I'm still going to say gets the Oscar nomination, but it doesn't have to. Predator Badlands also didn't get in, but I could see that getting like VES and then repeating at the Oscars. You know, Sinners obviously won't get nominated. I don't even think that's going to make the shortlist. Frankenstein's not getting nominated. I think that's in the top 5 on the award expert community, but like they didn't nominate Poor Things or The Shape of Water, so why would they nominate Frankenstein? Yes, this is obvious. Avatar 3 is obviously going to win. Mission Impossible, is that getting nominated? They nominated Dead Reckoning, but like the buzz for this one seems to be more muted. And before Dead Reckoning got nominated for sound and visual effects, like they didn't nominate the franchise ever for a single category. So I'm tempted to think it's still out, but what if it's not? What if it still gets in? Next we have stunts. The nominees are Ballerina, F1, Mission Impossible, Final Reckoning, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Warfare. Wicked for Good missed this one. That's kind of interesting because like they have her flying around and stuff. Superman didn't get in either. That's pretty much all I have to say. Probably Mission Impossible is gonna win. Maybe. We'll see. Animated feature, the nominees are Arco, Elio, In Your Dreams, K-Pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelie or the Character of Rain, and Zootopia 2. I predicted all of those. So yeah, I got all that right. Elio didn't miss here like it did at the Astros. I don't think it's missing. I think it's going to get nominated. I think the Oscar 5 is all of these minus In Your Dreams. This may be the Golden Globe 6-2. We'll see. But yeah, K-Pop Demon Hunters is going to win here for sure. Easy one. Best comedy. This category, they completely did their own thing this year. The Ballad of Wallace Island, Eternity, Friendship, The Naked Gun, The Phoenician Scheme, and Splitsville. I think I only predicted 2 of those. The Naked Gun and Friendship. They didn't nominate anything from Best Picture. I think they have a rule for that actually now. So no One Battle, no Marty Supreme or Jake Kelly or Begonia. Wake Up Dead Man didn't get in. They didn't nominate Roofman either, which I had in. Considering what they nominated, they could have done Roofman, but they didn't. Naked Gun might win. Or Friendship, maybe. We'll see. They didn't nominate anything from Best Picture, but that's not really how this category works anyway. They usually like to award like stuff that fits the category, which I actually kind of like. and they would just give it to like the best picture movies and stuff, like the movies that shouldn't be there because they're actually dramas or musicals. They actually go for actual comedies, which is great. Best foreign language film. There's an interesting snub here, but I think there was actually reason for it. Bellin, It Was Just an Accident, Left-Handed Girl, No Other Choice, The Secret Agent, and Seurat. They didn't nominate Sentimental Value, but I think that's because most of it, there's like a good amount of it that's in English, so that's why they snubbed it. They didn't nominate Novo Vague either. I think that one's not getting in anywhere. Bellin's actually been showing up at a few places. I wonder if that can get like a Golden Globe nomination or something, or the Oscar too. My current Oscar 5 is all the Neon movies. I don't think they're actually going to do that, but all the Neon movies have been performing well, so that's just what I have for now. I think No Other Choice is probably going to win here because I got the screenplay nomination, and It Was Just an Accident, didn't get anything else. But yeah, that's just what happens when Sentimental Value is not nominated, because if that was nominated, it would obviously win. But I'm going to say it's going to be a race between No Other Choice and Accident, and I'm going to say they might do No Other. Imagine if it's just like Sentimental Value wins Golden Globe, No Other Choice wins Critics' Choice, and then Accident wins the BAFTA. I hope we get a real race in this category this year, because I don't just want to be Sentimental Value all the way through, which it's not going to now because it missed Critics' Choice. But I hope we get like a genuine race, and we get I think for the Oscar, Accident does make the most sense, but I think Critics' Choice, like they're gonna go for No Other Choice because Accident didn't get screenplay or anything, and it only has this one nomination. Best Song, Drive from F1, Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters, I Lied to You from Sinners, Clothed by the Sun from The Testament of Van Lee, Train Dreams from Train Dreams, and The Girl in the Bubble from Wicked for Good. They didn't nominate No Place Like Home from Wicked for Good. That one's gone. That one's not getting in. It's just going to be Girl in the Bubble. They didn't nominate Last Time I Seen the Sun from Sinners. They didn't nominate Dream As One from Avatar, Fire and Ash. Ed Sheeran, that might be foreshadowing for the Golden Globes, because they do like to nominate star power a lot of the times. They nominated Taylor Swift a couple times. They nominated Miley Cyrus last year for the Last Showgirl song. So they may nominate Ed Sheeran for the F1 song. But yeah, Golden's winning. I think it's obvious at this point. They had that performed at the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. Charted on the #1 on the Billboard charts. It got the Song of the Year nomination at the Grammys. It's by far the biggest one here. I think it's winning. The runner-up, though, is I Lied to You from Sinners. Best Score. This is our second to last category. F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Bell After Another, and Sinners. I predicted Begonia, I think, and that missed. But it was just the obvious 5, and then add in F1. So I think the Oscar 5 is going to be all these minus F1. We'll see what the Golden Globes do, because they're also going to do the obvious 5 and then add something else. I think something else might be Ann Lee, because I could see them liking that movie, but we'll see. And our last category is Sound. The nominees are F1, Frankenstein, One Bell After Another, Sinners, Seurat, and Warfare. No Wicked for Good. That's not getting sound. I mean, if it gets Best Picture, maybe. But if it's not getting Best Picture, there's no way it's getting sound. The reason why I think it still could get a sound nomination if it's in Best Picture is because they do nominate the musicals all the time. So yeah. And in score, Ludwig Göransson or Johnny Greenwood. I think they're going to give it to Sinners because of how music is so integral to the movie. And yeah, I think F1's winning sound. They actually did some like bold picks in the tech categories this year. Seurat in sound, Warfare in sound. And from what I hear, Warfare has incredible sound design. They also did Best Comedy was very like indie comedy centric. They did Ballerina for stunts. So yeah, they were pretty Critics' Choicey, but they actually did do some interesting nominations. It wasn't just like all the boring choices. So yeah, we're gonna see what the Golden Globes look like on Monday. I'm gonna do a last-minute prediction. I'm gonna do a prediction live stream tomorrow night, and then this is actually the first time in a while where I'm actually gonna be able to watch the nominations live. So I'm gonna be going live at 8 in the morning, or around 8 in the morning, to go over nominations. I'll probably have to keep my voice down because some of my family will probably still be sleeping, but I can't wait. It's probably going to be crazy. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this live stream. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.